Hi, good morning, brother, sister. Happy to start our section sharing for this Saturday. As I know that there's a lot of our volunteers who will be back to attending our 4-in-1 retreat last few weeks ago. And no matter they are in the Sanchong or Banqiao or Taichung, I think maybe you already have a very small group on how to getting to recruit more people to listen to our master's teaching, and so that we can spread the Lotus Dharma and the spirit which is trying to teach us. So thanks a lot. Give me a chance to practice and how to expound the Lotus Sutra from master's teaching that I learned recently, whether it's from the Dai TV or maybe from the cell phone that I received the message. So for this nearly I think about just few weeks after Master set up her trip to out the abroad, and what I always heard that is before Master she finished the chapter 19. And a few days previous before, I did listen to the masters. She did mention we have to set foot for sutra path with our faith involved in action. And recently also she say Ru Chang, also life impermanent, also considered as a usual. So this is like move forward as usual way, abiding by sincerity and unwavering honesty. We all know that Master, after she went on her trip, and she heard a sharing from a scientist who is from the US, and also is our brother, who shared to our Master about the brain cell and a particular region of the brain, for a region for compassion and altruism. As I heard from the news that they're saying that this region of a brain responsible for altruism, which is being passed on and evolution as its beneficial to the species. Like as we engage in an activity of compassion, such as our Tzu Chi volunteer who care for others, and we go for any charity work. So he is also rewarded in evolution, because although we are tired in our body, but it will give us the Dharma joy, or we will feel a sense of achievement. This is what happened in our brain, part of our brain, that there's such a function that already, is inside our personal body. So because the Master did ask the scientists, say, is it the word compassion and altruism? This is come from our Buddhist, because of the religion aspect. So they say no. This is from the scientists. They have this kind of terms called compassion and altruism. So Master, after listening to the explanation, and then she after that, when she gave the feedback to our volunteer, she say, and so after Master listened to the sharing, and then for the other section, when Master will tell our volunteer along the way of her journey, she keep remind us to especially our Tzu Chi volunteer. She say when we meet people, we should share about Tzu Chi. But Master say actually what should we share about when we want to tell the story about Tzu Chi. Master say we should share how we work to help those in suffering around the world, even though for our personal, or maybe for the information that we receive from the internet or the ITV. So it's like we try to let the people to listen, and to let them to count their blessing and to work to show more. So this is Jing. This is what we always heard from Master. So we just try our best to explain to them about the Tzu Chi, what they've been carry out, the charity mission or any other mission in the society. And Master also say it's all right if there are the people who are not receptive of Tzu Chi, but as well as a living Bodhisattva, we have our responsibility to go among people and to let them know. So, and what we have done. So, Master say, back to what the scientists say, we want to let the people, let their brain has a chance to recognize suffering in this world and to motivate the part of their brain associated with compassion and altruism. So we just let them, to sow a good seed in their mind. So in the future, maybe one day when the affinity is brief, it's enough, and maybe they will take action. So because on the chapter 19, the last part of the marriage is the core mind, and I think Master say we should always remind us and never forget our first initiation expiation, and never forget the year and the person or a group of people who've been helping, and all sort of thing that we have go through, and we must not forget. So this is she wants us to practice our mind. So I must say, actually, she seldom, or if ever, she will share with us that when we, to asking people to make donation, we tell them, Master will tell them, say, if you make donation, you are actually showing blessing. So Master would not say that. She would say, 你这是木星，不是木款。So she not ask for how much the quantity that you are already raised the fund, but instead of how many people you've been inspire them to give up themselves, or maybe to share their experience to help others. So because recently, as we are international Tzu Chi volunteer around the world, so actually wherever the disaster happen, so we will have a relief work, especially our volunteer will go to the international relief work for maybe to carry out our medicine charity or or others. So this is also called we are sowing blessing and cultivating our wisdom, because through we are going to take action, we will learn the experience, and we will see what people do. So this is the knowledge that we learn from. So it's considered as we are sowing blessing, or we are cultivating our wisdom. So in the future, when we face the same problem, we know how to solve it. So this is only the person who are at personal experiences, and they will have this kind of deep feeling in the heart. So Master say, if we want to say you do making donation is to sowing blessing, in order to say that, so actually we will say we strive to sow blessing for the world rather than seeking blessing for our own self. So it's like not just 自利, but we are 利他, or we are benefiting others as well. And Master during this trip, Master say, actually, how can we enjoy our blessing if we are not do anything? Or how can we reap a harvest if we do not show any seeds of goodness? So because Master, she have a very deep feeling about because she's trying very hard for herself, and to make up the trip to so smoothly, and she have a lot of obstacles to have to overcome. So Master, she say, during the trip, she keep telling our volunteers the value of life is not how long we live. She say we have not control over our birth or death. Absolutely no. So without doubt, why is that person born in such a good family? Why is that person able to receive good education? Things like this happen, but no choice. So they are not determined by the placing people create and the good karmic affinities they from in the past life. So So we always say the causes and condition are separated in our daily life. Actually, every moment, every second it happens, the causes and condition. In it's just like this child, and we in the African country, and when we say nowadays we say we are using the whiteboard. So but this is like paper, but and when you see the photo and you can see their blackboard actually is like a blur, and maybe it's a layer. A white color that you can't see clearly for the words. And for this child, and he is learning the Portuguese language. And I get this photo from the magazine, our monthly magazine, and there's a story say this child, he is so shy that because he have a few words he don't know how to pronounce. And he look at the teacher and like have a shy smile, and like I don't know how to pronounce it, because they are studying in such a condition, and with there's no much resources like what we are having in a modern area, especially like in Taiwan or in Malaysia nowadays for our school condition. So it's totally different from what we have now. So they have no choice to go in the country, or he have no choice to choose the school that he want. This is the condition that he have. So it's the same. So, but we will change when the affinity come. So who knows, he will have a new school, and he will have a new classroom to study, and he will have a new all the school utensils that he have in the future, because he got a chance to meet our Tzu Chi. So again, 真因缘是因果. We reap what we show. So Master Tzu believe that actually we are shouldn't not just show our blessing only in this life. So if we did not form good karmic affinity with all living beings in our past life, when now our volunteer will want to encourage people to give in this life, they will no one to join in the cause. And for example, Master say, if you are, asking people to do some donation among the people, so maybe some of them are not willing to give donation, but maybe someone who are nearby, when they hear we are recruiting people or to join member, or maybe to be giving a donation, maybe they will come to you and say, I heard you have a fundraising just now, so I would like to make a donation to you. So, but if those we are having no affinity with, so maybe when you spend all the time to them and to explain what you are doing, we are doing for the suffering people, maybe they are also not singdong. So maybe they also will not be get touched, and they are maybe not willing to donate. So we must believe that we didn't form good affinity with them in the past. So nonetheless, by encourage them to give, so we will not to have a chance to sow the seed of goodness in the mind. So it is the same that if we are having a good affinity, when whatever what we speak, people will accept. So Master did say, the words that which people are willing to accept and follow are the Wondrous Dharma. So if you are talking about how you yourself have changed, and people, they will think that, oh, I want to achieve that too, means that you are having a good affinity with these people. So they are willing to listen to you, and they also will like to follow your step, and they want to change. So Master say in this word that actually you are inspire people to transform themselves, and it means that you are actually speaking the Dharma. So again, it's like when we take suffering in this world as our cultivation ground. So whenever the disaster happens or people who are suffering, so our volunteer or using our toothpicks are like walking on a path paved by the sutra, because we follow the teaching from our master, and we just do it. So we walk along the Buddhist path, and it's just like giving us a direction and to pointing us the right path to walk on. So we, Tzu Chi volunteer, we have group, so we are doing the same. So and actually this is something like quite usual, because we are been doing this mission regularly. So this is what master say, and it's just like this photo, and you see the volunteer is not same with others in the country. It's just like doing a very casually and very regularly, and when there's a need help, and she will hold the hand and just helping you. So there's no races in the language or in the country. And also the same is like our doctors from Taiwan who went there for the medical mission, and it's the same. He as his job is as a doctor, and so it's very as a Pingtang and the Ruchang as well. So as a usual, he also just like no races. So this is like already you are doing what you are responsible to do. So it's just like as a normal, as a usual. So actually, even though we see this photo, it's just like it is. What I would like to say is just like our volunteer who go out for any disaster area to give them a help. So it's just like kind of a very common and usual. So we just do it and without thinking too much. So this is master say. So we are actually already working on the path. So for example, because in Africa, you can't see, you always can see when it's a raining day and the ground, with muddy. But when the summertime and the ground, it's too dry, and especially those who are walking without wearing the shoes, and you can see the footprints on the ground. It's just like, master from master eyes, you say, it's just like a flower. Every step your step go through, and there's a print on the ground, just like a lotus flower. So this is like only you are personal on the spot, and on the condition, then you will just taking the practice. So as we move forward as usual, while abiding using our sincerity heart and the honesty. So when we are serving others and giving of ourselves, just like as a daily routine. So this is what living Bodhisattva is called. So it's just like, it's very usual. And for master personal, she says she will never live every second of her life, and until, even though she's sick and illness, despite of her sick, she still want to make full use of her body and never waste any time. So I believe that Master did mention to you all during your Taichung, the 4-in-1 treatment. I think Master did mention to you all before. And Master say for the time when she have her surgery for her eye, she can't see, even though she cannot see, but she would not let any seconds slip by. She still use her, she can't see, but she use her listen, and she still can speak. So from the chapter 19, we are having the sex consciousness. So even though our eye, the merit of the eye only have 800 merits, but for the rest, still can function. So it's just like what Master did. And she still can give a very good advice to a volunteer. And after she listened to the report from Africa, and she will give us a very clear direction and what we should do. So especially like Master mentioned at the Wisdom and Tao one day, she say our monthly Tzu Chi monthly reporter, Xiao Yaohua, brother Xiao, and who shared with Master about a photo, a woman who are carrying on her head for the relief goods, where the size is several times bigger than her head, and while she's still carrying a child on her bed. And from Master, she only saw this photo, but she said she can see the suffering that being carried on this woman's head. It's like a burden. This is what Master she comprehend from the photo, and she had this kind of compassion heart. But if for us, when we see this photo, maybe we will say, oh, well, this woman is not easy. You know, she have like a superpower and she can carry like this. But yeah, even though she is from such a poor country, and she has such a poor living a poverty condition, but you know, she already been trained to have this kind of supernatural, and she can carry like this. If ask you to carry this such a heavy thing on your head, I think maybe we are not able. So we say 三权是平等. So everyone have the ability and have their strangeness. So through the photo, everyone have a different definition. From Master, she said this is responsibility for this woman and to carry and this, you know. So, but for us, maybe we just after we look this Master, we should do to translate. So for the merits of a pure mind is like we have to see what Master's her strength is so great that she says she wants to transform the life of those in suffering in Africa or in everywhere where our Tzu Chi volunteer can go, can touch, and can help. And it's just like this. We can transform. You see those childs where they are lined up to waiting for their food, but yet we can see they are lined up in orderly, and they are so have a proper manners, because even though they are poor, but I think they are just like they are a pure wood, which is waiting for people to carving on themselves, and so that they can become a status of a Buddha. It's just like 可以雕塑. So they are poor, but once you give them a concept, a right concept, and give them a rightful teaching, so in the future they will be a person who become very useless, useful. So they only lack of affinity or the opportunity to receive education. But because now of the disaster happened, they transform the negative to positive, or maybe they are though they are suffering in the past because due to the cause and condition, but 因果 they have to abroad in this country, but yet they still have a blessing to meet the good people, and one day they will get a change. So this is you can see they are, you know, they have their ability to help themselves, like these 3 children who are carrying on the bridge, and they are, you know, is going to rebuild their new house. So 就是危机也是转机. So it's the same. So we must believe that we are not smooth in our life, but when time passes, everything will go smooth. So this is definitely this is the principle as well. So nearly finished for my sharing, and Master say our mind has the capacity to embrace the cosmos with a pure heart, such as it can perfect 1,200 merits. But if we are not interested in an activity, we will not participate. So our mind is very important. So when a country suffers from a disaster, if we are willing to help, we will do what we can to help with the disaster relief. So, but if we are not interested, we will not participate. No matter we are not just in giving money or spend our time sacrifice our time to help those. So Master say, even though we are having a little bit of effort, but when we pull together, we can help the needy. So our mind have a deciding power to 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 control us whether we want to do or we do not want. So it's very important for them. So you can see, if you want to help them, then those suffering people, they will have a chance to get a new house and to have a new life. So if we not help them, we just see, oh, you are so pity. So we are just in the world. So we are not taking action. Their life is still like that. So never change. So the last but not least, so when a Bodhisattva want to make a vow, even though we all personal have a very single action, but we every little bit we put together our efforts, and there will be the suffering beings, the welfare. So as a Tzu Chi volunteer, we are work together as a teamwork and as a group. So we accumulated our karmic reward, so that we will have a chance to transform the suffering people. So it's just like our volunteer in Africa now, they also to line up orderly, and even though their steps are very very close to each other, but when the one long queue like that, we will make the relief work smoothly. So, and the suffering people, they will very soon can get the relief goods. So it's the same concept. So now I pass my time to Jing Kuan a little bit. Maybe he can give some feedback or sharing.
Just now, Master Huang share about Wu Chang. Yeah, spiritual cultivation, just like or doing goods as daily routine work. Yeah, so now I would like to share the working Dharma in things above. Yeah, because Wu Chang, it is translated into working Dharma. You watch this movie in the 4-in-1 retreat. So yeah, but I think there's the lifestyle in things above is also it's also a walking Dharma. So especially the Zen in the farm, in Chinese we call Nong Chan. So I got the chance to experience Tzu in things above after the camp. Actually, this is my first time, although I joined Tzu Chi for many years. Yeah, so maybe there are some brothers and sisters who also like me, having joined Tzu Chi for many years, but haven't experienced the Zen in the farm. Yeah, so Zen in the farm, we actually see a lot of, I think quite a number of things, aphorisms that got the inspiration from Zen in the farm. For example, this one, our mind is like a garden. If no good seeds are sown, nothing good will grow from it. And then this, I think we are quite familiar with these things, aphorism. And then another aphorism is weeds do not easily grow in a field planted with crops. Evil does not easily arise in a heart filled with kindness. Yeah. So, but this time when I go to Tzu Chi, I had another experience which I've never thought of. So, what I did was actually I will still be doing it for today and tomorrow. So, my task is reading the vegetable farm. So we can see from this picture, we can see this vegetable is hidden among the weeds. The weeds is not only the grass, but it's also some unwanted vegetables that grow. Maybe they grow naturally. They are vegetable also, but they are not the vegetable that we want. And yeah, so we want to tidy up the whole farm. And then so this is what you can see before we do the weeding. But we can see partially, it has been done partially, so we can see the vegetable quite clearly. And then for the rest, you can see there are quite a large patch where the vegetables are hidden among the weeds. And then, so this is before, and after, we can see it's quite a drastic change. And what I experienced is that, yeah, so when the weeds are clear, the vegetables appear of these things. When the afflictions are clear, our Buddha nature appears. So this is what Master usually teach us about, and I think it is also the essence in the Lotus Sutra. We state that everyone has Buddha nature, just that we are covered by the afflictions, and we need to clear them or remove them. But another thing that I want to share is actually the weeds. I mean, how do we clear the afflictions? Do we just forget about them? Actually, it's not just like what we did to the weed. We actually put them in one place so that they can become fertilizer. Yeah, so afflictions in when we go into the crop, when we do good things, we also have afflictions, but we have to digest them and then make them become our nutrients for our wisdom life. Yeah. And then Master also in the Lotus, in the what do we call it? Okay, Master teaching that we watch when Master is away. This one is from yesterday one. So Master said that actually at this time we can still listen to the Buddha Dharma. We are very fortunate. Although we live over 2,000 years after the Buddha, and his teaching are increasingly verified by scientific advancement. So we can deeply realize and understand that all things in the world have their own nature and change in subtle and wondrous way. And then as long as we are mindful, by understanding one principle, we understand all. So actually doing the Tzu Chi, I have this dharmic joy because I get to experience and realize the Buddha nature that we can make it appear by clearing the afflictions. Yeah. So this is my simple sharing. Yeah. So maybe we can let the other brothers and sisters to share. Cảm
ơn Huang Sifu, cảm ơn Brother Jing for such wonderful sharing. Yes, today we have sharing from Klang side. Sister Sao Hun, please. Okay, Brother, please take over. Cảm ơn.
Good morning to Sangren, the above masters, and all our brothers and sisters who are present today. I'm Sister Sao Hun. Today, Sister Annie and myself would like to do a sharing on our Xun Fa Xiang journey. Our affinity with Xun Fa Xiang started in April last year, a visit to the Jing abode with the KL Klang English group. During the session of A Cup of Wisdom Water with Master, Sister Effie shared her 21 days of Xun Fa Xiang journey and how she overcome the challenges and language barrier. Today, she is one of the Malaysian team member for the Chinese English translation. It was at that time Master also challenged us to make similar and the Xun Fa Xiang for at least 21 days. And both Sister and myself, we took up the challenge, have much Dharma knowledge, and also facing language barrier. Getting up from bed at 4:30 pose a big problem for us. Besides, we also face security and safety issues, plus objections from family members. To overcome our problems or challenges that we face, every morning at 4:30 a.m., Sister Annie and myself will send messages to each other. And if either one of us do not respond by 4:40, it would then be followed by a phone call. And we started our first day of Xin Fa Xiang on 27th of April 2018. You can see the PowerPoint that our first day. That is our first day of. Can you show the sun? You hold on first. Let me show. Yes, this is the first day of our Xin Fa Xiang. I actually took a snapshot of the screen during that time, and we were actually very lost on the first day. In fact, when I look at these photos, it helped us to recap. At that time, from then and now, how much we have benefited from the morning Xin Fa Xiang. So during the time, we were very lost because we have very little Dharma knowledge. And even on the first day, the dedication of merits, we didn't even know how to read, how to sing and all that. So we have to get, after the Xin Fa Xiang, we have to get one of our sisters to do the Hanyi for us so that we would know how to sing the dedication of merits. Just after 3 days, we started, just after 3 days, since we started Xin Fa Xiang, it was announced that there will be no live Xin Fa Xiang, as Sangren will be Xingjiang. So what do we do? Do we continue or not? Both of us make a vow to go for Xin Fa Xiang and not to stop, but to seize every moment to listen to Master's Dharma. We diligently attended the recorded Xin Fa Xiang daily, because for us, we still get to see Sangren every day. It doesn't have to be Sangren go, Sangren Yu Sen Zuo, then only we attend the Xin Fa Xiang. Our initial vow was only for 21 days, but today it's been 40 months since Sister Annie and myself attended our first Xin Fa Xiang, and we are still continuing. Besides the Xin Fa Xiang, we also attend the every month the Tzu Chi and Sifu, the lunar new moon and full moon, the morning chanting at 4:20. Even though we do not understand what we are chanting about, but we just tell ourselves there must always be a starting point. It doesn't have to be until we are able to, it doesn't have to be, we need to understand fully before we start. So we start without knowing anything. Just go in, just do it. And after the 4-in-1 camp, we came back full of Dharma joy, because the 4 days of chanting, we have this Hanyi plus the English translation. Our fullest gratitude with this path firmly. Listening to the Dharma also helps to open up our hearts and learn to let go. And I find that now it's very easy to apply the 4 magic soup, that is Kan En, Chun Zong, Ai. Contentment, gratitude, understanding, and accommodation. We also find a lot of Dharma joy during our Zuotan. after our Xin Fa Xiang month, weekly, we would have a draw time and a discussion. And through our brothers and sisters, we also learn a lot from them. So for those who have yet to attend the Xin Fa Xiang, do go and listen to seize the moment while Sangren is still around and make the best use of our time and abilities for our spiritual. You will find joy that is feeling. And
a very good morning to our Sangren, Abbot Masters, Master Te Huang, Brother Jing Kuan, and all our Dharma brothers and sisters. I'm Annie from Klang. I felt very blessed to have chosen Tzu Chi as a platform for cultivation and also have the affinity to attend Xin Fa Xiang. Both of us, Sister Sahun and I, really relied on each other greatly for pillar of strength to sustain the momentum to go for the Xin Fa Xiang diligently. The feeling of starting my day daily with Xin Fa Xiang is beyond words. And at night, I will usually do a recap to contemplate of what I have learned or done during the day and end with gratitude in my heart. Through listening to the Dharma, it also nurtures our wisdom life day by day. My sincere gratitude to all the Dharma brothers and sisters for their inspiring sharing and explanation. When Dharma water helps to cleanse our mind and nourish our heart. With that, I learned to let go, be more broad-minded, and will not take unnecessary criticism to heart, but instead to absorb as a lesson learned while walking this Bodhisattva path. Without a second thought at all. Like Master always say, if doing good, just do it. When going into the masses, we do face a lot of challenges, dealing of various personalities, and will be more accommodating in handling issues. And as we are being constantly reminded by our Master through our daily Xin Fa Xiang. I normally use gratitude, respect, and love to everyone. Sometimes I do face personal issues, problems, and was finding for solution. And unknowingly, I found the answer in Xin Fa Xiang. This kind of feeling is not easy to express. So do seize the moment. With Dharma in our heart, I'm sure it will help us to walk the Bodhisattva path firmly. Hope more volunteers will come for Xin Fa Xiang to appreciate what I have experienced. The more you listen, the more joyful you will be. Lu tia lu dip sim, cảm ơn.
so you can see from the PowerPoint that because for us to learn to understand some Chinese words. 感恩.
Our Klang Dharma team, Sister Sahun and Sister Annie, most inspired sharing. Now over to Hualien, Huang Sifu and Brother Jing for comment. 感恩.
Thanks for Sister Annie and Sister Shaoxing for sharing. Just now, Sister Shaoxing, she say she listens. She's starting to join listening to the Xin Fa Xiang, not because she's already well known about the Buddhist terminology or she already very good in the Buddhism's principles, and because due to she start from the beginning and she would like to learn more. So this is let me think that just like we say 求法入口, we like stay hungry or maybe we are feel thirsty because we say Dharma is like a water, and when there's time you feel you're thirsty, you will start to seek for water resources to 解渴. So I think it's because I think we are, already know that we are lack of something in our life, so we want to get some improvement. So we start to try to find out, to seek for more good methods to resolve our problem, and so that we will have a better life. I think this is the same like when we always keep bathing in the Dharma. So in one day, when we nourish all the Dharma, so that we have a nutrition, and in the one day we will get a chance to get blossom in our heart. Just like this is what I think is a merit of listening to Xun Fa Xiang in one day. As well as you having a problem, you know how to solve it, because you already have the method in your heart from the master teaching. So thanks a lot for the two sisters sharing. And does anyone else want to share?
感恩 感恩师父, Huang 师父. Indeed, these two sisters, we could see their great diligence and persistency. Since last year, once they make the pledge, they have been fulfilling it. Even if master is not speaking live, even if there is no live Xun Fa Xiang, they will still come to the center to listen, even to the recording. It really shows the perseverance and the sincerity, diligence, like what master said, the 4 bodhisattva practices. 无端的, it cannot stop, it continue, have to do with great respect, the sincerity, 无漏修. It's just continuous, like what the sister have shown us. So indeed, there are so many sisters, brothers and sisters on the platform that have served as our role model. Of course, we are very grateful to Sangren and our Hualien, Sifu, our brothers, they keep guiding us and inspiring us. We hold each other's hands. So those who have not yet tried live Xun Fa Xiang, please, today we even have English live caption. Those who need it, please contact us. We will extend it to all, so everyone could have this opportunity. If weekdays is impossible, we know some really cannot weekdays, at least Saturday or Sunday, please come, and it's really good to have everyone on board and share to hear your inspired story. Truly, like what Master said, if we are thirsty now, we have a lot of our own worries. Dharma is really the key way to resolve it. Come and try. And over to Master. Okay, we still have some time, around 6 minutes before we call it a day. Or anyone who have insights.
So since there's no one to share, I would like to give you a very short sharing about. Also recently, I read an article from the internet, which is there's one of the volunteer who are having a chance to meet our Sangren master, and he asked Sangren. He said that since our Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, he was born in India or in Nepal, and over 2,500, 600 years ago, and the volunteer asked Master, why the Buddha are born in India and this country and now will still in poverty, or they still have a lot of poor people or suffering life in India. So why the place where the Buddha born would not bring prosperous or the modern city, or have a better life in India? Why we say Buddha is an enlightened person, and the place where he was born, but yet until now still in hard time? And can Master give an explain? And after Master listened to this question, and he said, as a master in the Lotus Sutra, she always mentioned, we say the Buddha come to the world with one great cause. And we also know that Buddha is teaching us to walk on the Buddhist path. So that's why he expounded the Lotus Sutra, which is a harvest of the Buddhist teaching on the way. And also the Buddha, he have a vow that wherever the suffering place, he will go and help. The compassion of the Buddha is like, he will born in a very poor or in a very need 越穷越苦的地方，所以 the Buddha will appear in the country. So and Master say because India they in the past they have a very complicated religious belief or the faith. So we know that they have more than 90 religions, Brahma or any other religions, and very complicated, and their life also very suffer. That's why the Buddha was born in such condition, and also because Master say, because we say the Four Noble Truth for the first word is say suffering 苦 so the 苦 so Master say because of the suffering is already Master say because the suffering will let people keep create a negative karma. So because they have already suffered, they have no chance to listen to right Dharma in the India area. So that's why people they are keep in. I mean, the Buddha want to appear in India because he want to show us a teaching that you see, this is what life for and suffering. They have suffered so that they are not having a chance to listen to the Dharma, and that's why people will keep rotate and the circulation of the reincarnation. And this is why Buddha keep tirelessly and to give us the example and show us if you want to stop to end up the suffering, the only way is to listen the right method and we do the right thing, so we will change our life. So this is the analogy or also it's like an example that Buddha want to bring in the country and to show us the life is suffer and we have to escape the suffering, and that's why we want to learn. So this is like sort of a 用心良苦 for the Buddha, and he will born in the country. So this is what Master's answer to the volunteer. So I think it's nearly 8 o'clock. So I hope that you can understand what I want to try to say. Thanks. So is it we end our sharing for today?
感恩黄师傅 for such wonderful insights, really great wisdom. We understand it very good. Okay,
I'll try to find out more next time. So because I have it in my cell phone, but just now it suddenly came out. So sorry, maybe my answer is not too clear. So next time I will make it more brief. Yeah.
已经很好 very good. Okay, 感恩黄师傅，感恩 Brother Jing Kuan, 感恩 Sister Sahun, Sister Annie for lots of heartfelt and wisdom sharing. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence. Hope that each of us will sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of Dharma Master and Hualien love to our life. Let us please make 3 bows to the Buddha and Dharma Master as we depart to apply these teachings in our daily life. Let us pay our respects to our teachers of life, universal truth. Thumbs together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Huang Sifu for giving us lots of wisdom. 黄师傅，感恩，真好，很好，感恩给我们 SD Buddha and I think we'll anyone who wish to and show your face now. Else, okay, else is next Saturday. We all connected again.
Yes.
Hi, but our Hong Kong family.
Bye.
Good to see everyone. Let us continue holding each other's hand on this spot.
Okay.
Next Saturday, we see each other.